being so much more obvious when we are playing in a fearless format. And we have seen that. And even coaches...
He did say that, yes.
Yeah, even coaches...
I think it was the Valdanalist, though, that was
my
on
bad, yeah.
Hog State. Yeah, I had the sign and everything. I don't know if you watched.
No, I had tears in my eye from getting roasted so much. So I didn't hear everything, but most of it I did get. As the Aurora, Zyra taken away. Are we looking towards an early Jace pickup? Varus is also extremely high priority still. Could go towards Nidalee, but I don't think Nidalee should be that high in terms of priority. Yeah, Jace seems like the no-brainer here. It's Jace, Varus, Vi is another one.
Yeah, there's actually a lot up here, just with the Aurora and Zyra bans. So I don't mind it. Going for the Vi instead. Might see something like a Jace Nidalee, maybe with more setup than what we saw earlier today. Or maybe the Varus to come out here with how high prio he has been in the 80 carry role. Never mind.
Yeah, Ezreal, always going to feel good into Vi because you have the build and escape. Force her to use a role. There's, of course, still the chance that you get locked down and get in trouble, but I always like drafting disengage into Vi. Champion really only does one thing. And generally also you have to tailor the rest of the team comp towards her. And then Xin Zhao does make a good amount of sense when it comes to the power picks, but I think you don't have to lock in a jungler here because the enemy Vi has already been picked, so you have a little bit more space before you actually have to lock that in.
Yeah, the Rumble to come out just shows the priority here. I mean, Morgan also a guy that's not scared to go back to Morgan favorites like the Renekton and stuff like that. He didn't have to slam the Prio blind Rumble, but really wanted to play it.
It might also be a situation where they want to deny Vi Rumble because that is an insanely strong combo. You know, like even if you are Ezreal, sometimes if Vi just gets the press R, and you just die. Like there's nothing you can do. The damage just on the carpet alone is enough to blow you up. It's that's what Lahens has done.
With this comp, it's actually pretty good.
It is. Yeah.
Sport Chen goes in with the Kai'Sa.
Yeah.
The Vi, everyone
can hold anyone and extend the play as well. So I do think that does make sense. The Poppy can go multiple ways. We have seen Jungle Poppy really drop off, but it is still technically possible. The big window is that Poppy is just naturally really good into anything that you want to pair with Kai'Sa, so it frees up their, I would say support dance, but they still ban Shen. But, you know, things like Nautilus, things like the Rel that we often see combined. Now, Lahens could, of course, still go Blitzcrank, because he's Lahens. He could play anything, and we would be like, yeah, you know what? You go, Lahens.
In this game, against Poppy and Ezreal?
He would. I don't like it.
I don't want to, yeah. Obviously, we're going to be like this, and then he's going to, like, slam lock it in.
Like that. Rumble, Wukong. Definitely a strong combo here.
He said Wukong or something else. And then somebody made the final call for the Wukong. Definitely climbed the ranks of the tier list in the jungle.
Oh, that is a juicy champion into Wukong. Always going to be feeling really good. Not the craziest Talia angle, though. Talia Vi as a 1-2 is obviously really strong, gives you really good 2v2 and the ability to contest objectives. But outside of the Wukong, I don't think the value is that crazy. There is Nautilus, to the surprise of absolutely no one. I'm like, you could do some really weird stuff here where you flex around, you put like Rumble mid, Poppy, you could even put Wukong top, and kind of do all crazy things, but I think it's just going to be Azir, or Ahri rather, and Wukong to come through here as a mid-jungle 2v2. And Ahri is one of those champions where, first glance, you're like, Talia kind of ruins your day, but it's, as we've seen many times, you have so many ways to get around. Yone is another example that is actually hard to find good impact with your E.
Yeah, I kind of like how both teams went ahead and they didn't just kind of like tier list draft, you know, which happens a decent amount. They kind of tried to draft compositions that make sense and champions that work with what they already have. So good to see. sometimes you'll just see teams be like, all right, well, Varus is open. We're slamming the Varus. We're slamming the Jace. But instead, you know, pickaways and compositions. It's what I like to see because sometimes the drafts make me angry. But not this time. I feel like both sides actually did a pretty good job. We saw recently, I forget who it was, might have even been Nongshim, who played Talia Vi and just showed the reach that it has, where like even if you're Ezreal and you flash, Brolivers rise, by the way. XD Pedro.
And Ta's Ta. Deacon really having a field day with that sign.
Ta squared equals Ta times Ta.
We're all bots, Valdes.
Yeah, we are.
Lean into it.
It makes sense. But yeah, the compositions are ready. The Rift is loaded up. Let's hop onto it right now for game 1. You see that the Paulo just go back to base like 3 extra times. He just didn't buy something and eventually picked it up. Probably the potions.
Happens to everyone.
Even the best, such as Paulo.
It wasn't the statement I was making, but you know, you can make that statement if you want, Valdes.
He's been good.
He's been good.
I feel like he's a bro talent that came up through the ranks. He put in his time, and he's not like the super flashy player, but he makes solid plays. He's quite consistent. There are times where you'll be like, oh, okay, he's still a bit inexperienced, but I think in general. Okay, so we got the in-depth intel from G-Sun. He swapped his ward to a sweeper. That's why he went back to the shop.
With Sports currently sitting on sweeper. Lahan's actually going for Augment, as opposed to what we see basically every single time, which is Aftershock. So going to help in terms of utility and going to make him less tanky. But, you know, Nautilus, when he's not in solo lanes or in jungle or wherever not support we play him, I feel like he always kind of made a paper if he doesn't hit his hook. So right now, do have the lanes being matched. Morgan missed, what, like 3 minions worth of...
4. He missed that range one there as well.
Yeah. So his lane's not going to be fun.
Trying to fight here, level 2. Yeah, Paulo, you're just... okay, he is level 2. That's going to save him. Not sure about hype. He's still going in there.
Evil Tempo is stacked.
For some reason. And finally, he backs away. So yeah, about that inexperience.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Sometimes you just say things and they immediately happen.
Level 2 timers are a thing that caught us off guard. I'm like wondering what prompted that.
I mean, it was pretty close. Like, you could see the wave was in a similar spot, and they were like desperately trying to get the last hits. But the issue is, you'll generally know, especially if you're a pro.
You know,
like,
pretty quickly.
You'll know. Okay, we're gonna lose this. We have to back away.
Yeah, if he doesn't get that level up, he just dies. Like, I know you get the level up is one thing, but it was still bad. It forced a very early base. We'll see how many minions they're going to miss on this wave. There's a cannon wave that's about to be crashed, but looks like Chiu and Lahans are only just now getting it in. So they're getting a nice base, but it shouldn't be too much missed here for hype. So not the end of the world. And yeah, on top, Morgan now about half a level behind because of the early game. I'm kind of wondering, because we missed what happened because we were talking about throw talent. As that ward definitely was supposed to go over the wall. Nerves. Nerves is what we're seeing here. Valdes is what my takeaway is going to be.
We didn't see any nerves at all from Bro when they were playing against Genji, when they were playing their final match.
It'd be good to have that ward.
Yeah. I wonder... Yeah, well, he's going to know now 100%, as in they both go. Nice flash to get away. Kingen taking big damage. But still going to be in a nice spot here and force the TP out of Morgan to come back to the wave.
Good call from Gideon not to flash there. Morgan definitely would have the response time, and he'd have to either try to predict or run the risk of just wasting your flash and not getting anything out of it. So makes her follow-up gank very easy. And you still maintain tempo. king and just gets to now base. Wave is bouncing back into him, so he might not even have to invest his teleport. We'll see if he's going to use that. Does look like he still chooses to invest to maintain pressure. And we do have Grubs coming up in about a minute and a half. Dragon spawning soon as well. And Fi actually does have a really good early Dragon, thanks to the damage on the W. See if that's something that they want to make use of. Does get spotted. Actually, some pretty deep vision being set up here by Paulo and Hype. So they will be keeping a close eye on Gideon's movements.
Yeah, definitely going to be important to see when he does hit that level 6. Humbach ahead has hit level 5 himself. Just straight up full clearing.
Oh yeah, he is Wukong.
He is Wukong. He'd love to hit level 6 and then visit that mid lane. Well, pretty much anywhere, but the RE Wukong, definitely not the first time we've seen this combo.
It was cousin BDD, right? That like,
yeah.
Did they win that game? I remember
Yes.
them going absolutely crazy.
BDD was like 9-0 and 6.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was the only reason they won or like they still lost. I guess it was the only reason they won. That makes sense.
I think they won that game.
Well, it's not that great regardless, right? That's like the take was like they were really good. But this isn't the time for KT.
It's going to be very fun to watch KT in the playoffs as our third seed.
Yeah.
From playoffs.
KT, known for bringing fun to all their fans all the time.
Yes. No stress. Just fun. Fun games, fun times. Okay. Well, combo, but that's Paw. P? Almost.
Paw. Blue?
Yeah. I was like, Paw. P?
It really can go either way there, yeah. It's no wrong answer, Valdez.
Doing the grubs. Doing the grubs.
Humbach isn't 6 yet. I think he does really want to hit it, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to. And with Prio roaming from top as well, Morgan does have his ult.
All right, we're just going to face check it. Somebody has to, but that means that Paulo probably dead, able to get a knockback here on Lahens, but the ult goes in, and so does Closer, trying to make something of this, but Lahens is wasting so much of his time. Finally, they do take him down, but Hambach will go down as well. It's a 3v2 in favor of Nongshim, and they will take control of the Grubs. Should be 3 to them.
Yeah, I did question the decision to go for that, and after seeing that skirmish play out, I do not stand corrected. Particularly with, like, Morgan, his ultimate is obviously insanely strong, but without Hambach, you don't actually have that much setup at all, right? You're reliant on Palu, who needs to face check, and I think that this face check is fine. Imagine if you face check this while Morgan is here. Then it's fine, right? Because they actually do use a lot of resources, taking out a Poppy. Hambach is able to extend the play initially, and like, yes, he goes down eventually. But imagine if they're fighting on an equalizer while all of that is happening. But they're not, and you know that. Like, you know there's 4 people there. Because I'm pretty sure all of them showed on mid-wave, so it shouldn't have come as a surprise.
Yeah.
Bros still take the fight. Not the end of the world. They will be losing the Grubs. They give over 2 kills, get 1 of their own, which does go into Closer, which is, I think, a solid scenario. But a little sloppy there.
Yeah, it definitely was. I think that they have been good when it does come to their fight setups and fighting as a team, but that call, I think, was the biggest issue. The fight afterwards was all right, trying to make the best of a rough situation. Gideon, level 6. We'll see where he wants to head. Can be rough to lock down Closer with Vi unless you've got your flash, but Gideon does not. So key is that he cannot ult flash the Lucid tech. Definitely not the first person ever to do that, but
it's like
made it very popular.
Like Lahens' Nautilus move that then everybody copied all the time.
Yeah.
The ult and then flash to redirect.
Yeah. It's good tech.
It is good tech, yeah. Yeah, as you're saying with Ari in particular, because your Q is so telegraphed, it's really easy because it's a line to charm people out of it as well. As the Dragon will be going over to Brion, and this is an interesting game. I feel like in our first series of the day, we had comps that were very clearly tailored towards one thing or another. I feel like both these comps, like obviously Nongshim is just, it's dive. It's very straightforward. But I don't think their side laning is that bad because you have double globals, semi-global, but like between the Taliyah wall, and especially once Geo hits level 2 on the Killer Instinct, you can actually really easily play for sides. You have CC on literally everyone, so a lot of range for Fred there, and then
Kaisa has CC?
Well, to set Kaisa up.
Oh.
Like, so
They said literally everyone.
Yeah, okay. Well, my
Kai's on the team.
Def is.
I just thought, yeah.
Are you actually meaning for the second time today, Valdez?
No.
No.
I would never.
Never. Well, that is, you know, we're gamers. We're all nerds. Everyone watching this is, so I feel like that's warranted. I do it all the time as well.
That's true.
So I can't be mad at you. But no, Gio does not have CC, but he can kill people off of the CC of all his teammates. And then Brion can play either for, I want to say like 1-4. I think you can put Ahri in the side lane pretty safely because it's so hard to punish her. But outside of that, it's mostly just team fighting. Good dive as well. And I think their objective control actually is really good because their control of space between the Rumble and the Poppy is really powerful. Wukong as well basically invalidates any play you want to try and make through a choke point. And then their pick off easily is really, really good.
Yeah, they do have a lot of pick potential between the Ahri and the Wukong. The rest of the team has great follow-up.
Yep. Even a Poppy, right? Just slam someone into a wall, set up the play. So even if a team would take like a minor lead, where I feel like right now the early game is basically dead even. We have an extra kill for Nongshim, but that's about it. It should make for a really fun mid-game. And that's what we expect, right? It's seed number 4 versus seed number 5. And both of these two teams have given off a lot to be excited about. And then some things that maybe not so much, as we are fighting again, but this time Hambak does have his ults.
Lahens kind of like walked in there. He's like, hey, I want to take a fight. And he died.
He did.
Because of that. So, Charm going to land here on a Gideon. He's also in a lot of trouble. The pick potential showing itself. Oh, the equalizer has to be flashed. As Morgan also going to flash away from just Fisher.
Yeah, not going to lie, Morgan, I don't think you would have died there.
No.
It's Talia with Lost Chapter. I think you would have been okay. Definitely a good flash from Gideon, though. He would have burned to a crisp. That is... Oh, actually, Nongshim, I was about to say, bro should be able to get something on the grubs here, but the retake comes through. Gideon's flash, I imagine, sustained off of a jungle camp. Now makes his way back, and it's going to be 5 grubbies going over to Nongshim here. So even though the fight didn't go their way, the extended trade, I think, still quite even, but it's Closer picking up another kill.
Yeah, Closer just quietly getting fed. It's not quite the UCal effect where he's very loudly getting fed. Yeah, Lahens just kind of walks in. I don't really know what the idea was there, unless he really wanted to do his tech, you know? But he didn't even really press his ult until the very end. And that was kind of the fight.
And we now have Polu ensuring that Morgan can make it to the wave. Ooh, they will spot this now. Polu should be enough, although with the TP, I'm not so sure. It's still Poppy, though.
They're going to go in. I mean, it is just a level 6 Poppy. Can they take her down? Where's the damage? Not quite there. Finally, they do take him, but Gio, the stacked turret damage just 2-shots him. And yeah, as you said, don't do that to Poppy.
I know that, obviously, Gio picking up aggro there, not using his flash is a mistake. But this is another one of those scenarios I'm like, probably just shouldn't have taken the risk when they spot the play.
Yeah.
But then instead they double down, TP as well, and end up trading 1-for-1. So that's something that Brion is going to be very happy about as they crash that wave in mid, start building up a little bit of a CS lead for Hype. Don't have to invest any of their summoners. Feeling pretty good.
King in. Will he do it? Oh, never mind. Spotted. And Morgan says, that's a little suspicious. I'll back away. Not sure what's going on exactly. Here's the dive.
As we take another look here, so Gideon or Lahens still has aggro here. And then Gio, yeah, you know what, looking at that, fair. It's just a ramp up. Didn't expect that he would die. And I think looking at his health bar, understandable. Definitely a mistake. Could have flashed and not taken that final hit. But didn't end up doing so. Be giving over a return. Completely went to Polu. So also not the end of the world as now. We're going to keep getting these fights. Both teams are very happy to just brawl into one another. It's 4 versus 4. Neither King nor Morgan will be joining as they don't have TP. That's Asriel.
Okay, well, they're going to engage on a Poppy again. We'll see if it works out. He's got Locket this time. They finally take him out. And there you go. Poppy's gone. Hambak's in a rough spot. He's going to be taken out. And all of a sudden, what was a 4v4 turns into a 4v2, except Fisher goes in. Oh, the stun! They both got stunned on the rocks! And now Gio hyping, or just flashing in on a hype, just gonna take him down. Runs away. And they forgot about Taliyah, didn't they?
That was about the most Taliyah value I've seen in a long time. I want you to pay a close look, or take a close look, pay close attention to how much value he gets out of his E. Okay, so this wall,
not the wall,
not great. Wall not ideal. Look at this.
What about this?
So here, knocks back, then Humbok. I think just barely. There's some rocks at the very end that he dashes over, which delay his ult, which is why he ends up going down. And then we see Fisher. You take that blast going, and the rest of his team is
right
like,
here.
guys, we got a dip. And then those rocks again. And it's the rocks that set up the plasma stack that he can then ult towards.
Yeah.
Ends up picking up a bunch of kills, and that dragon, and you get Humbok, that's fine. Not the end of the world, but instead, Nongshim further build a gold lead. And I think the first real big lead we've seen. Cole also now cashed out for Gio, currently sitting on 3-1 on the Kai'Sa.
All right, well, Close is trying to take it into his own hands, and this time he is going to dodge the rocks, and Fisher doesn't have flash, so he's just dead. Nice little shutdown, goes over to Hambach.
Ooh.
Nice little pick.
Yeah, definitely good. Giving more gold over to this 2v2 of Wukong and Ahri is kind of what the comp is centered around, so gonna be feeling great for them. As we do have now the Herald being taken by Gideon. I don't think there's anything that they can do. But the first Turblood going over to Brion means that we will be looking at a final objective fight, most likely around this next dragon, for what will be the sandals given over to either team.
Those are hanging around for quite a long time. Going to pick up level 12. Gideon gets this Rift Heralds. And take another look. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, there's no flash. And this is one of the things we talked about. With Taliyah, you are really, really strong into dive champions that have a dash because of your E. And that's unfortunately also the reason why Taliyah does really struggle into picks that have multiple ways to easily get around. Yone is another example. We've even seen people be able to do it.
How about Rakan? He's got 2 dashes, but she's good into Rakan.
Yeah, true. I think Rakan is, because he's a lot more conditional on where he can go compared to
you know exactly
like
which direction he's going in.
Yeah, exactly.
And when he engages, it's a straight line. So it's like, it's not like Ahri who's, you know, trickstering around.
I mean, we even saw Closer like very deliberately take a specific angle there, right? To get out the E, and then once you're around it and Closer hits the skill shots, there's nothing that you can really do. This is a second tier charge to come through here as well. Now Morgan should be able to clear out this wave, although he doesn't have his ult just yet. Yeah, actually, with ult, I think he can clear that, but instead it's going to be an inner given over. Nongshim getting a lot of gold on the map here.
Yeah, I mean, they have 5 grubs. They drop a Rift Herald, and the trade that Bro took was not great. They got the top turret, and that was it. And gave up a lot more. Now, you know, this ooh, Paulo. Nice scan. Will he survive? Yes, he will. Steadfast presence. Nobody else would be willing to follow that over the wall anyway. So able to scout out a bit of their jungle, but you can see that the vision control is very much in favor of Nongshim leading up to this Cloud Drake. And I feel like the Cloud Soul is going to be pretty huge for either of these teams, depending who does take it. Bro does have a couple of Drakes already.
Yeah, I'm definitely, obviously Cloud Soul is one of the strongest souls in the game. If there is a team that I really never want to play into, though, it is definitely Wukong Ahri.
Yeah.
That does, and even Rumble, that does not sound like a good time. Some champions on Nongshim don't use it quite as well. Fisher comes to mind. Lance is also one where you're like, it's fine, but you know, you're Nautilus. If you ult someone, you'll be there anyway. Level 11 now hit for Gio, meaning that people inside have to be a lot more careful about where this Kai'Sa is. Looks like mid lane Prio is secured here, but Rion are not opting to go for a play towards this dragon and instead overloading the top half of the map. So I guess just looking for an inner. maybe setting up for an Otacon does spawn in about 45 seconds.
Please not another Otacon throw.
Well, no.
How many of those have we had, though?
Oh, so many.
Where teams set up and they're like, we're doing it. We're going to do it, and then we're going to turn, and then they try to turn, and they already took way too much damage, and it's just...
Again...
Or they try to do it, and they die. And
it's an AoE shred. Like, think of how good in some metas, what was it called? Not Locked. What is it? The Aegis. Shield of the Aegis? Aegis of the Legion? I don't know what it was exactly. As but
yes,
you know,
I remember, the Shield of the Aegis.
Yeah, the aura item that gave him Aura's...
Ardent Sensor.
Why?
That's a kill onto Mbessa. Look at this! The follow-up is huge too! Lahen's burning so far down. Even the Malignance damage helping out, and Noshim, they were not ready to take that fight.
They didn't just get those kills. Look at the stuns used as well. Fisher flashed, Gideon flashed, Lahen's flashed. Brion, I think this is an actual Otacon angle this time around. I do like the contest, though. Fisher still has his ultimate, and like the turn. Now I don't know.
Not sure about the ult. I mean, they might have enough damage, though, to take up Palu. Ult comes down on the Gideon, and now that's your jungler gone. Desperate to try to contest. They're going to stop and reset it.
They got a dip. Yeah,
they got a dip now. You can see the health bars now are gone.
That's successful. That's good enough. You do give up a good amount of kills. I think that now the gold lead is equalized again. Basically even, but they don't get Otacon. As we take another looker, it is just Lahen's, who clearly wasn't ready. And this actually, I think, is a result of what Rion did earlier, right? Like, instead of going for Dragon, they overloaded top side of the map, got, as it turns out, not that much vision control, but Nongshim don't really know that. And then someone on Nongshim has to walk up to try and check if they're doing Otacon, because they had zero control of the area. Ends up being Lahen's. And then here, Paulo just if he gets over that wall, he's fine. That's the end of the play. And they might just be able to burst down that Otacon, but instead of reset. And we just keep getting more fights. This is great. This is mayhem, fellas.
This is great, yeah.
Anyway, as I was told, you remember the item?
Ardent Sensor?
No, it wasn't Ardent Sensor. It was like an AoE magic resist and armor aura. It was like a support
Abyssal Mask?
Supportive jungle item.
Huh. Well, we'll have to think about it. We got more fighting. Palu, he's just going in. He's a true Giga Chad. He doesn't back down from a fight, and he's going to live. Humbug, though, getting pretty low. Going to save a second ult, but Kingen able to set up the kill on Humbug here for Jiwoo, who has gone very deep and might be traded back. And yes, he will. Morgan and Closer just burning everyone once again. And even Hype won the fight against Mbessa, against Kingen. And Bro take another big one away from Nongshim.
Jill, no! Oh, painful. That's the Kaisa nightmare where you go in and then I think they not only did they not kill Hype, I think he queued Humbug as well, but then Hype just kind of ran off. As let's take another look at this fighter. This time they do catch Paulo off guard. Humbug gets stunned again. But the time that he buys, and the fact that they're fighting in a choke point is actually a big deal. This equalizer ends up stalling out the fight for so long, and then Jiwoo ults in. Yes, he kills Humbug. If he flashes towards that top rush, like that might actually end up making the difference, because there was a pink ward in there, so they wouldn't have had vision. Instead, Rumble finds him, rakes him over the coals. Morgan with the Battle Rumble, feeling great. Look at that gold breath. Perfect. Love to see it.
It's up and down, and then it's up and down again. Down being the direction of Bro. And they've taken a couple of big fights around.
Yeah, it was called Aegis of the Legion. There we go.
Aegis
of the Legion. Sorry.
Aegis of the Legion, yeah.
And then an old version, because now it builds into Unending Despair, but an old version of that had an armor and MR aura, and it wasn't even that much, and it was so broken.
Yeah.
And Otacon takes away, I think, double that. It's like up to 50. AoE.
Yes. And teams still are like, you know what?
Well, neither team has done it here.
We can kill this thing.
I think thus far the Otacon calls have actually
been. I'm not naming any names. I don't think it's either of these teams in particular. It's just a lot of teams during the group stage of LCK Cup were just like, you know what? We're so far ahead. We can just do this. And sometimes they got away with it as well, which almost made it worse.
It's a new objective. Remember Rift Herald? How many games were lost fighting over Second Herald? Is Kingen, he's on a mission. The deep flank. They do not know. Does he know? Still waiting.
Does Kingen know about his flank?
Well, he knows about his flank. But does he know whether the flank's going to work? I think he does, and he's now realized that it doesn't. Is the question mark pings are like, huh?
Where'd that guy come from? What? Was he there the whole time? Yes. Hide on bush.
Is this where we're at? Guys, they have a ward, and they also have prio in top.
Now, listen, the only thing that matters is Otacon, okay?
It really isn't. Brion have the opportunity to set up soul point for themselves.
The only thing
well, I guess they're just going to get
that matters is just doing Otacon.
Well, they get it.
And they're just going to get it. Yeah, backs are stopped now from the side of
Nongshim, just let it go.
They're too late.
Just let it go.
TPing.
Just go to Dragon.
They're TPing.
Just go to Dragon.
They're TPing into the fight.
It's fine. You can cancel the backs. You get the Dragon for free. Well, not for free. You pay with Otacon buff, but...
Got him. Stop the back of Palu. Huge.
Oh, you can see it on the faces of Nongshim as well. They're like, ah, man. That's not good.
Well, they'll get the Drake. So that's a couple of Cloud Drakes in the pocket of Nongshim.
And Otacon alone is not enough to make you lose the game, but if Brion now force a good fight and then get Nash off of that, that will be...
Yeah.
That will be enough.
It's very important to note that timing because it is possible to get Otacon and not have it interact with Baron at all, right?
Yeah.
And just have it be like, okay, we're going to push, we're going to get some value, we're going to get more head, fine. But using it and saying, we're just starting Baron, what are you going to do about it? And then taking a good fight and hopefully not leashing it too much.
Perfect. Yeah, just start Nash.
Yeah.
I love it. Or set up a vision trap.
Deny vision.
Either or. Look at this. Thank you, observers. Doing a wonderful job as always. Yeah, just start it up. Yeah. Your turn is great.
And they have huge damage as well. With Ezreal, with
just
Rumble.
Don't flip it.
Well, they might. A lot of damage coming in.
Just
that
turn.
is that's Leokon. Here's the turn, and the Wukong with the Coles as well over the top. And a lot of flashes come out. They avoid a bunch of damage. Morgan will get reset, but already Lahens is down. And they are looking for more. Hype with the red buff really wants something more. They're only going to get Lahens, which is nice. But
start it up again. Well, actually, close.
Low on health, yeah.
Poke's also not bad. They have vision in the pit, so they're not going to fall for this. Good amount of vision around as well.
If there's one player who's been in this situation many times and can carry it from here, it is Jiwoo, who's like the one fed dude on the team, and he's like, you know, just get on the bus. Jiwoo's going to carry it for you. Famously nearly did it on Smolder against T1.
That was still the best Smolder game ever. If people say there are no good Smolder games, watch that one.
Yep.
As it starts off here, actually really nicely done by Palu there. Finds the ultimate on Fisher. Doesn't quite get lands into the wall, but still does enough. And really, it feels like only Morgan understood the assignment. I think that Brienne could have definitely tried and go a little bit harder there on the fight. Because if you get a second or third kill, I think Baron is actually guaranteed. Instead, they have to back off. Best part about Otacon is it allows you to play with reckless abandon as the buff times out. And now the game is still kind of even.
Yeah.
We're still there.
No, I mean, you got even Drakes.
Yep.
You've
2 to
got
2.
some fancy boots.
Yeah.
One. Sandals.
Wait,
on Kingen.
just take the free stats, right?
Yeah.
It's fine.
But the fancy ones.
No, I know.
I like the new icons.
What is it called? Chain-laced something? I don't know the second part.
That is the name, yes.
Yes. Chain-laced something.
Remember when we had the Ornn upgrades? Well, just making up names for them. So fun.
I forgot whose caster was. There were some other casters that were talking about this. They're like, we can just make up new names. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know, because any item can now be a masterwork item. What if we just give
True.
them Remember Deicide? That was so cool. Typhoon?
Yeah.
That was amazing. We just need to think of those ourselves.
There was
when there's Ornn in the game, which is all the time, notoriously.
Like Sisyphus or something? Like you know, like the special eclipse or whatever. Yeah, don't remember exactly what it is. Let's see the ult now from Palu. Nice dash from Gideon, gonna dodge it. And now you gotta turn, But in goes Nongshim. They're trying to isolate one target, and they will take down Hotbot. And look at the Baron. It's so low, but Nongshim, they're being shredded by an Ezreal and a Rumble. The Harpoon gonna land, but Jiwoo will back down from this. And he's got Kingen with them as well. And they turn the fight in a huge way. So many low health bars. But Nongshim win it in the end.
It went from hype What was that to Hype? What was that?
Yeah.
As, gets a little bit too crazy with it there in the end. I wanted this start of this fight beautifully done. So Paulo tries to find Node, completely gets denied, then gets hooked back in, targeted, and then they also get on top of Closer with so much of the damage. The immediate ult coming in from Kingen as well. Beautifully done. And then it looks like Nongshim is overstepped. Hype goes forward, and then you can just see the moment where it's like, I'm doing it.
Doing Baron, by the way.
Oh, if it doesn't... Yeah, I think they should be able to get it now. Unless?
Unless? 1 Q? 1 burst? No, it goes to Kaisa. So there you go. Nongshim with the clean Baron. Nothing to see here.
If he keeps his E and he plays it a little bit slower, they can't do Nash. Oh, Hype, that's gonna sting. Morgan also doing a lot of toasting in that fight. And now the Baron is going over, and I think Nongshim should be able to turn it into a triple Soul or triple Drake, Cloud Soul as well, or Cloud Dragon, setting up for a possible 4, which I've been seeing a lot of the, the speedy Halo Blades Cho'Gath. Everyone is about to be that speedy. I'm telling you, Veldas, that's going to be very scary.
Oh, trying to set this up. I mean, this is Ari. Still, a lot of nice dodging. And Closer 2 seconds away from his ult as well. Just going to straight up walk in the right direction a couple of times. And then throw in a Zhonya's.
I still can't believe Closer hasn't died this game. This is not an easy game to go Deathless in with the amount of CC on the enemy team. This is also a pretty big whiff, I'd say, from Nongshim, because this is going to take a lot of time and tempo out of their Red Bull Baron power play. Now, they should still be able to take Dragon.
They have 2 minutes, so...
Yeah, okay, but they're going to take Dragon, which is another minute before they're actually in a position to push anything else. Still fine. I don't think it's the end of the world, but that topside play not working out does cost them. Still, they're able to get Soul Point for themselves here. We have Jiu, who is getting very close to Zhonya's. Items across the board looking good here for Nongshim. And it's going to have to be a kind of a Hail Mary pick for Brian, I think, because even though I think that the champions on their team still maintain a lot of their power, like playing out just straight front to backs into the amount of dive that Nongshim have is going to be quite tough.
Yeah, and Nongshim have shown many times that they're not scared to just,
they
drop
the
gauntlet, and we're just going in. Lahen's quite literally just running at them sometimes. Maybe a little bit too eager to fight.
Maybe sometimes we should be afraid of stuff.
Yeah.
That's good.
A fear, is built in to our instincts for a reason, to protect us from dying in League of Legends.
Does not know any of these fears. He's getting closer to a barrel level of scoreline, which
I feel like he is
sometimes
slowly hitting his barrel arc,
I think he always, like, thinking back to early Lehens as well, he's always been...
Yeah.
Just hasn't quite hit the peaks of barrel.
I feel like we're hitting new levels of, like...
Oh, yeah. In he goes.
All right, there you go. There's the pick, but he's got Zhonya's, and that's a pretty good ultimate to come in. But the knockback from the Taliyah is huge. In goes King and finds the backline. They got the 1 kill, but look at the health bars of Bro. They're all so low, and they're being burnt down. Morgan desperate for something, but he can't do it alone. And there you go. He gets taken out. It's only Palu, and it's 40-second death timers. I think they can just end the game.
That one is going to sting for Bro. Felt like this game was looking pretty good. And then Nongshim just kept fighting and fighting and fighting. 16-15. A bloodbath of a game here, Feldes. But Nongshim going to take the 1-0 leader, only a single game away from eliminating Bro out of the play-ins.
And that would be crazy, just like that, as Gideon bounces out of his chair. Kingen having a great game of Ambessa. He gets the focus. I think, he was great. I think Jiu's timing outside of the 1 killer instinct was great. Played well with the carry, with the money he was given. And really just their comp working out in a great way. I just feel like also Bro wasn't really able to match and damage in some of those extended fights. Hype wasn't able to do quite enough.
Or try to do too much, unfortunately. Paulo also, I think, starting off strong, but come mid-game, definitely a lot more misses on the Poppy. It was also a lot of responsibility for him, because if you look it's either him or Hambak that's starting the fights, but not quite able to hit a couple of key targets. Hype, that Arcane shift forward definitely going to haunt in, but the gold graph is going to tell the story that we also witnessed back and forth. And for Brian, a tough loss, but this should also be the takeaway that they do have what it takes to match an Nongshim and maybe bring us to game number 3.
Absolutely. I mean, this is still anybody's series from here on out, but Nongshim, a big step in the right direction. They were down quite a decent amount of gold. I mean, 2,500, not a huge amount, obviously, for that point in the game, but they were able to turn it around even after giving up Otacon and everything, and Nongshim take the victory. Some Kingen fans coming on down to help, maybe the family as well. But either way, guys, we're done for now. We'll take a break and have the space. We'll be right back.
이거 네? 나 했다니까. 리플 봐봐. 근데 정태야 바텀에서 왜 좋았어 너?
미안하다.
그거 너무 크다.
근데 그거 너무 내가 너무 앞에 나가서
얘들아 이겼으면 됐어. 잘했어. 단판 단판하자.
그냥
나머피 찔게. 죽여. 바텀 라인 쩔 쏘긴 해. 근데 나 진짜 검문한다 진짜. 내 잡아. 야 이번 판 잘해서. 단판 잘하자.
4,000원 들고 있는데.
나이스.